that? Parallel to the water, that's right. So if you're getting your weight on it, that means you shouldn't have anything on your right bum cheek if you're on the left side, and the left side if your left bum cheek if you're on the right, correct? Your weight's way out here. Okay? Okay, what's the next part of the stroke?
Catch.
The catch. What is the catch? Okay, louder, someone.
It's when you bury your blade in the water?
Yes, when you bury the blade in the water. Now it's a lot harder now because the boat is sitting much higher in the water, but you want to be fully buried. What does fully buried mean? What does full bury mean?
Guys, speak up, come on.
Blade is in the water.
Blade is fully, so these are the shoulders of the blade. They need to be sunk into the water. If you can, you want to even sink in part of the shaft, right? Okay. So at the catch, what happens? Fully buried, and then what happens next?
The drive.
Then you drive. What's the first thing that moves when you drive? Your hips, and that's facilitated by using what?
Your legs.
Your legs, right? So your legs have to move first. So when you enter the water, your hips should be offset, and then you should be able to push your hips back. So that starts the derotation part, right? So what happens after? You push your legs back, and then what?
Transfer energy to your head up. Get that head up on that shoulder.
Yeah, sort of. So you're digging your body into the water, right? Pushing into the water, trying to get as heavy as you can through the drive. So the drive is both pulling back and pushing down at the same time, correct? Right? And when you're pushing down, you're not just trying to use your pec muscles to push down like this. Because really your one pec muscle is not going to do a whole lot. You want to get your whole weight on the paddle, right? Your whole weight on it. So you should be able to, a good test is can you pretty much lift yourself off the seat, right? If you can clear the seat, then you know that your weight's all in the water, right? Okay, what's after that? So you're doing the drive, you're doing well, and then what? The exit. What is the exit?
When you take your paddle out of the water?
Okay, so it's the last part of it when you're kind of at the end of the water, and then you're going to come out, right? So, what's so important about the exit?
Fast?
Okay, it has to be fast, that's right. So, the catch, the drive, and the exit, they have to work together. You can go in and get resistance, but if you don't accelerate the paddle fast enough, the water is going to go too fast, and then you're not going to do anything, right? Because if the boat's moving at like 5 kilometers an hour, and you're only moving 5 kilometers an hour, you're not going to get anything, right? You're not making the boat go faster. So you have to use your own weight, your muscles to accelerate the paddle, so that at the exit, what do you feel? Resistance, really heavy resistance that allows you to do what? Push off and send you into the A-frame, your recovery, that's right. So when you're exiting, where should you try to exit? Should it be back here? Yeah, so we say the hip is where you want to exit because you don't want to end up rotating like excessively, because that's useless, right? The other thing is, at this point, the paddle's way negative back here, you're not doing anything anymore. So the shorter it is, the earlier you exit, usually the better. Now, when you first start out, it's easier to think of trying to exit at mid-thigh, because by the time you do your exit, you're already back at your hip. Does that make sense? So try to exit by mid-thigh. It seems like a pretty short stroke. It's like 1.5 feet. It's not really that long. But if you really accelerate, you get your power on it, you get your weight on it, then you're going to be fine. Now, through the recovery, where is your weight? Is it in the boat? Is it out of the boat? Where is it?
Out of the boat. Out of the boat.
You should try to keep your weight outside of the boat. You shouldn't be coming back into the boat, because if you come back in, the boat's going to rock, right? If you keep it out, then it's a lot easier, right? A lot easier. You want to get your weight onto the boat. You're going to come in a little bit, because your top arm is going to do what? You lead the recovery with your hips, right? You do rotate, and then top arm lifts up, right? So, one more thing to review. When you're holding the paddle, how are you holding it? What's your bottom arm supposed to be like? Should it be like a death grip? I'm scared my paddle's gonna run away from me. Or should it be relaxed? Okay, let's get a consensus. If you think it should be a death grip, put your hand up. Okay, if you think it should be relaxed, put your hand up. Okay, so you guys know the answer. Why is it supposed to be relaxed? That's right, allows for easier recovery. Also, you don't want to get carpal tunnel syndrome trying to grip your paddle like crazy. If you get resistance on your paddle, you can keep a relaxed hand and still be able to not lose your paddle, right? Because if you imagine there's something pushing against the paddle this way, you can relax your grip, right, if you've got something on it. Does that make sense? If you've got nothing on your paddle, though, you're going to have to hold tight, because otherwise you can go everywhere. Does that make sense? Any questions? We're all kind of clear? I know this is all a review. We all know this. It's just a matter of doing it, right? And finding the fitness to do it. So the other thing is holding your paddle, try to give some space. Don't hold all the way down at the blade. Give yourself maybe half or a full fist from where you're holding the paddle. Does that make sense? Want to get started?